Hi everyone, Jimmy here again, and welcome back to another video to the Intro to Durham University series. So today I'm going to be talking about the reasons why I chose Durham and also my experience in settling in, and then I'm going to be reacting specifically towards my course, which is Modern Languages and Cultures, and also maybe some advice that I could give you as well. In Lower 6 or Year 12 and also Year 13 as well, I decided to look around some universities. These are Cambridge, Durham, Bath, UCL and Exeter. In the end I was rejected from Cambridge, so I didn't even put that down as my choices. So I firmed Durham and also I put Exeter as my insurance choice. And my offer from Durham was an A in Spanish or German and an A in maths or art. So I was really lucky there. And in the end my A-level results are as follows. I had an A star in art, an A in Spanish, an A in Chinese, a B in German, a B in Japanese and a C in maths. So I actually did Chinese and Japanese separately outside of my timetable with a teacher. And the reason why I chose Durham over other universities was because it was the one basically closest to Cambridge, and I'm more of a historical and also traditional person, so I did prefer Durham over the other universities. So I did in the end go to a open day in Durham, which was the post-offer open day in March, and that basically convinced me to confirm Durham as my first choice. So then October came and I went up to Durham on my own on the train and happily strolled into Durham and started university. Ooh. For me, transitioning from A-level to uni wasn't a big deal at all, because as one of the few technically international students who lives in England and who study languages as well, it was already very easy for me because I've already got all my admin stuff sorted from the 7 years I've been here beforehand. So I'd sorted my bank account, my SIM card, everything, and even my NHS and everything beforehand already, so I didn't have to worry about that. If you have any more international related questions, do feel free to ask me in the comments below. I didn't have an issue settling in at all, especially because I had really helpful parents around to help me with all the questions that I had and also course related stuff as well. So I actually started university with 3 languages. I started with post A-level Spanish and German and also Russian ab initio, which is beginner's language. So in my first year, because I did a ab initio language, I had extra contact hours compared to those who didn't. So in the end I had around 16 to 17 contact hours every week, including lectures, seminars and also tutorials. The way languages work, you have to have a core language module with 1 or 2/3 culture modules per language. So each year consists of 120 credits, and each module has around 20 credits, and some may vary a bit. For someone who does 2 post-A-level languages, they would do 2 core languages, so say French and Spanish, and these will be 20 credits each, and then there will be 4 culture modules, and these 4 can be a combination of 1 French or 3 Spanish, or the other way around, or 2 of each. For someone like me who did 3 languages, and one of them was an ab initio language, it meant that the ab initio language was a 40 credit module and the other 2 are still 20 credit modules. So I would have Russian as the 40 credits and then Spanish and German as the 20 each. And in the end that was 80 credits for the whole year, and in the end it meant that I had 2 other culture modules, so I did 1 in Spanish and 1 in German. At first Spanish was my stronger language and I didn't have an issue with it at all, although you have to put in a lot of effort into your grammar and things like that. I would say the teaching doesn't really get any better than the A-level, but at the same time it basically drills you to perfection, so you need to know your subjunctives and things like that, and they focus a lot on that as well when you come to university. For German I had a bit of trouble with it, just because I found it a lot harder than Spanish to catch up the things that I missed from A-level, and also because there was such a big gap over summer that I didn't do anything or touch German. So in the end I found German a bit more uphill. For Russian beginners I had never done it before, and because of that it was an interesting experience to go through, but at the same time it was really hard, and I put most of my effort and time into Russian, and I had 6 hours every week, and we started our teaching at a really high standard. So we started from knowing nothing, not even the alphabet, to a stage where we could actually talk and order food and things like that, and getting to almost AS level by the end of the first year. I would say that was a really stressful experience, but as long as you put in the effort and also do a lot of work, you will be fine. As for the culture modules, for me personally, I don't really like literature or things like that, but it gave me the opportunity to do other things like analysing paintings or watching films and things like that. It's not just about literature, although you have to read a lot of things, even though if it's on film or other things like that. So you will have to do academic reading on your research. For me, in my first year, I didn't really put in a lot of effort into research, and in the end, I did do a lot better in my languages than my culture modules. Your mentor or academic advisor will be there to answer any of the questions that you might have and help you through it. And in the end, I did get the support that I needed to get through my first 2 years. So when people come to the open days, I do get a lot of questions about workload and assessments and things like that when they come to Durham. I would say, quite fittingly, we have the unofficial motto of work hard, play hard. We do have a lot of work, we do have a lot of essays and things like that, but at the same time there's so many fun things going on as well to actually just de-stress you if you need to. I won't go into too much details into the assessments because I'm going to be doing a separate video on the grading system and how we're assessed, not just in the languages department and also across the university if I can as well. But in addition to essays and things, we do have exams at the end of the year as well. The department itself, I'm not going to lie, the building is horrible, but at the same time, I would say the teaching is actually a really high standard most of the time. And again, I do get a lot of support from my teachers and also my lecturers. On your journey to mastering your languages and also researching for cultures, a lot of people do ask themselves constantly why they put themselves through this horrible experience, sometimes, including myself, because at times I did wonder why I decided to do Russian in the first place, but you have to persist and don't give up because it is all worth it. After all, having done literally just a year and a half or 2 years of Russian and having started from nothing to where I am now, post A-level now, we're almost, and we're just being thrown into Russia and start our year abroad soon. I feel very nervous, but at the same time I feel like I've achieved a lot as well. Being able to go from nothing to doing this year abroad thing is an amazing feeling and amazing achievement as well. I would say a lot of my friends and I, we constantly complain about how hard Russian is. It helps us get through it if we do it together. But at the same time, I feel overall it is a good experience to go through and it is worth it in the end. In my second year, I concentrated a lot more on my academic work as well. I didn't go out as much, and also I put a lot of my time into college work as well. I would say I split my time quite unevenly, so I would say I spent about 35 to 40% of my time in my academic work and the rest in my college work. For me, I like being busy, and I do feel like doing the college work helped me getting through my academic work as well. But it completely depends on you. My advice to you guys is use your first year as your experiment. Don't just study all the time, get involved in other things, do more sports, and start things that you've never done before, because you're never going to get the chance of doing a degree, but at the same time, it doesn't count. So in your second year, concentrate on your academic work a lot more, but also adapt yourself so you can actually get through the year without having thoughts of dropping out and having mental breakdowns. For me, it was a lot easier to get involved in college and also do my academic work in college constantly as well. In terms of making notes, I'd advise you to use pen and paper for languages, because when you do study a language, they will ask you to buy a dossier from the department with all the exercises and texts in it. In terms of the culture modules, I would advise you to use your laptop to make notes. So bring your laptop to your lectures and then quickly type the important notes, and at the end of the lecture or whenever you have time, do a handwritten note and keep it in a folder. So when revision time comes, it will be a lot easier to go through those notes instead of trying to rummage through your scrap pieces of notes everywhere or trying to find it on your laptop. So organise it a lot better, organise your time a lot better as well. So if you do these things, you will pass your university years like with no real issues. So I hope that was insightful for some of you guys, especially those who are thinking of doing languages in the future. If you do want more details on languages, and especially Spanish, German or Russian as well, then do comment below and I might make a separate video for those. Do check out the playlist for the Intro to Durham University series and also the Life at Castle playlist as well. And as usual, if you have any questions or video suggestions, do let me know in the comments below, or Twitter, Instagram or whatever. I'll link them all in the description below. But yeah, see you next time. Modern languages, that's slightly different, that's already built in, so don't worry about your grade, but still worry about your grade. But try to have fun, because you're not going to get the same